bringing you news, politics, and whatever else tickles my fancy. Welcome to the Ho Ho Show, and I'm your host, Ho Ho. Broadcasting live from the attic. You can find me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter. You can view my YouTube channel. You can email me hoho@thehohoshow.com. Welcome to the Ho Ho Show, and as always, I am your host, Ho Ho. Alright guys, well, just in case you've noticed, you can't see me. You know, I actually tried to do that with a straight face, but it just did not happen. I mean, I even did the whole, John Cena, you can't see me thing, in front of my, it was great. I couldn't keep a straight face, but no. Yeah, so I was working yesterday on getting this stinking thing to work, with the camera and doing the whole live broadcasting and have it, be able to cast. Just one of them would have been nice. Periscope, Twitter, YouTube Live. I mean, dude, I kid you not, I did a lot of posts, trying to, just basically make it to where, the audio that you're hearing matches up with the words that my mouth is moving, the words that are coming out of my face. And I just couldn't get it. I mean, I tried. Man, I tried. I worked hard on it. And I think I have an option to try out, but I wanted to actually get this done today, but unfortunately, I never did get around to it. There was just stuff popped up today, and, I don't regret doing any of it, but, it was just one of them things. I wasn't able to get it accomplished for the show. But I probably 7 to 10 hours is what I spent on this. I have a text message. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, so anyway, oh yeah, speaking of which, getting a text message, that actually, made me, remember something. So, as I'm sure you guys are aware, I do have a Skype call-in number, and that telephone number is 217-917-4405. And I'm actually, all right, 217-917-4405. There we go. I'm even putting that number into the chat, window. This way, if you guys are, this is more or less going to be a recap, a week recap, and there's going to be, just different topics that I, that I touch upon as well, ones that just either I didn't get around to, or maybe not necessarily topics, but points of the argument that I wanted to bring up, with previous episodes. And, I'm talking about, just to give a quick rundown of the show, just with President Trump, with the hurricanes, with the Las Vegas mass shooting, and Paul Ryan, and healthcare, and just probably a couple other ones in there as well. So I mean, if you guys have any other stories that maybe you guys didn't see got enough airtime, or things that I have missed, things that you want to bring up, bringing in your 2 cents to it, hey, feel free, give me a call. Love to hear from you. It'd be kind of cool. 217-917-4405 again is that call-in number. All right, so let's get right into this. So I read a headline earlier today, and of course I use Flipboard as my one-stop shop, all-inclusive news hub that I use for anything, everything, and all things news. I'm such a goober, and I know this. But, yeah, so... Oh, of course the battery's almost dead. I love almost dead batteries. Anywho, let me plug this thing in. We're live, folks. That's right. It's amazing. Been using my phone quite a bit, and, I'm an idiot. Didn't plug it in whenever I started doing this, so, it happens. So, let me back up out of here and get into my... There we go. All right, so... No, that's not the guy I want to talk about. Although I will be talking about him. Okay, here we go. So, all right, Paul Ryan. Is that the first one? Yeah, that is the first one. Paul Ryan, he comes forward, and this is from the Western Journalism headline. Paul Ryan comes forward, reveals truth about Trump with just 2 words. And, I kind of, like always, I just kind of skimmed through the article a little bit, enough of this I know and have, heard so much stuff about this crap and these people that it's not even funny. But he actually used 2 words to describe Trump, and basically with how he's been doing, what kind of a job he's been doing. And I tell you what, guys, I am so glad, and I'm going to be honest with you. All right, now don't take this as a getting on my hands and knees and just getting right down to the booty level and just no, that ain't what this is. All right, because I'll be the first one to tell you, and I'm even going to hit on this stuff today. There's some stuff that Trump has done that's pissed me off, and I'm going to tell you about it. So there, but I'm completely being honest with you guys. I tell you what, I thank God that it is Trump in office and not Hillary. I mean, really, could you imagine how Hillary would handle, the Rocket Man? Can you imagine how she would handle Iran? How she would have handled these hurricanes? I mean, what difference at this point does it make? I mean, if I hear that one more time, and y'all people who use this know what I'm talking about, it makes me want to choke chickens and just squeeze them until the little rubber bodies fall off. Wait, is that... Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's not the best analogy to use, but y'all know what I'm saying, all right? I am so glad that it is Trump in the office and not her. I mean, how well would she handle this? Well, all right, let's go ahead and kind of slide into it. He says that, Trump has acted with, tremendous compassion in dealing with, 3 hurricanes, with, the mass shooting, and I mean, I tell you what, I mean, these are no small things, okay? I mean, this really isn't. And I think there's another one on the way. Isn't there like 1 or 2 more that, that we're even looking at still? So, I mean, it's not even over, guys. We still got a ways to go. But, I'm going to go as far as to say that I can't necessarily say that he's acted in extreme compassion, because, I mean, truth be told, granted, his acts are compassionate acts, okay? Wait, let me rephrase this. I can't say as though his acts are compassionate acts or not, okay? I really can't say that, all right? I don't know what's in the man's heart, but what I see, okay, and this isn't knocking him, okay? Don't get me wrong. This ain't knocking him. This ain't praising him. This is just an outsider's looking in, okay? He looks like a businessman doing what needs to be done to take care of the people that is his job to take care of, okay? That's what it looks like to me. I can't really say as if he's doing it out of compassion or even if he's doing it for votes. I ain't going to throw that one out there either. But he's doing it because he is a businessman and he is doing what needs to be done. Okay? It's like a businessman with, granted, that this is not the same thing, and I am aware of this, but it kind of goes along the same lines. Kind of like a manufacturer of a car company with, a recall, and, he's going down to, And he's doing what needs to be done to take care of the people whom entrusted him with the presidency. That, to me, is what it looks like. Okay? Maybe not necessarily somebody who's operating out of compassion, but somebody who's definitely, he's getting the job done. And isn't that what we put him down there to do? Isn't that why we, elected him in the first place, was to get the job done, to drain the swamp, to, do what needs to be done, So now, here's something else that I actually kind of thought this was kind of hilarious whenever I read this. Hilarious in a bad way and hilarious in a sad way. All right. But Trump on North Korea, he did a couple posts, I guess, that were kind of cryptic in nature, if you will. All right. That basically over the past 25 years that the North Korea has done nothing more than just, we have failed in our negotiations and North Korea has just made us look like the fools, made us look like idiots. Okay. And of which case, I totally agree. Okay. I brought up in a previous episode, I don't remember which one it was entitled, North Korea or more on North Korea. I got no freaking clue. They're in there. You can, check them out if you want to. But, they did, Haley, our UN ambassador, something Haley, Nicole Haley, maybe. That doesn't sound right. What's her name? I don't know. But she was, okay, this was amazing, okay? And I absolutely thought it was astounding that she did this, okay? Because as what she did is she stood in front of the judge, okay? She stood in front of the UN, peeps that makes the decisions. And she, I think actually she was sitting down. But she addressed them. And she didn't argue anything. Okay? She didn't tell them that they were making a bad decision. She did not tell them that they were making a good decision. All she did was she came to that meeting fully and completely prepared to bring forth every single thing over the past 25 years that North Korea has done, that the UN has told them not to do, that North Korea has done anyway, and then the UN has made some type of, resolution against them as punishment. Okay? So, it looks like this. What do you want? $1 million? How about a glass of milk? Warm milk? Okay. All right. And then he goes, they go on the wayside. And this has been going on for 25 years. Okay. He cries, what do you want? Money. Fine. They give it to him. Every single time. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Okay. And then with the UN, it's we'll punish him. We'll smack him on the wrist. We'll give him a small pat on the butt cheek, and we'll send him off to his room without supper, even though he's got a fridge with leftovers in the fridge, and but that's what they do. Okay, that's what we have been doing for the past 25 years, and it was amazing and it was awesome that she went through this entire thing. The entire history of the back and forth of North Korea, the United States, and the United Nations, saying that these guys have a history of this kind of behavior. It's not going to stop, because we know that if we give them the reprieve that they are asking for, that they are demanding for, if we give them this, it's not going to stop the problem. It's not going to solve the problem. All it's going to do is make him shut up for a little while, and then in another 4 or 5 years, he's going to be at it again. That's all it's going to do. Donald Trump, he sees this pattern. He is fully aware of this. And he goes, well, no. I'm done. He threw a fit. Now it's time. I'm watching. I'm trying to be careful with my words on this. Okay. It's time to give him the belt. You know, he is a child throwing a temper tantrum. That's what they have been doing for the past 25 years. And instead of disciplining him, instead of disciplining him and spanking him, making him go out and pick his own switch and then breaking it on his hindquarters. Back in the day whenever parenting actually, kind of did something, we've just been giving him a little smack on the wrist and sending him to his room. No supper for you tonight. That's what we've been doing. But, who cares if you send him to his room without supper whenever you order a pizza and you deliver it right straight to his door? Are you kidding me? That's what we've been doing with him. And we wonder why he hasn't straightened up and why he keeps doing the exact same pattern that has been being done for the past 25 years. I don't get it. I really don't. So, yeah, I agree with Donald Trump. There's only one thing that they can do to solve this problem. And that's it. It's unfortunate, but there's only one. This isn't a child anymore that you can, spank him and send him to his room. This is what's that kid's name? The whole big, I don't want to throw a name out there and be wrong. This is a guy whom is now a thug that goes around preying on weaker people and is loud and is obnoxious, and he's about to get shot by a police officer. Because if we just let it keep on going, well, okay. We can't just let it keep on going, because he's just going to keep on doing what he's been doing, and nothing's going to get fixed, nothing's going to get solved. We can't just flat downright say, no, you're done. We're no longer giving you money anymore for this. We've had enough. They're going to throw a fit, and then next thing you know, they're shooting a nuke at us. Okay? And a little bit more on that. I actually heard reports that, they've been moving around their, stockpiles or whatever. They're moving a bunch of missiles around and whatnot. And I tell you what, guys, and I mean this wholeheartedly when I say this. And after I do, we're going to end up going to break because it's about that time. But watch the movements over there, okay? I'll be honest, guys, we are reaching a point of, we're in a dire situation, okay? And it's one of them things that people whom are actually aware of everything going on globally, I can speak, really, I can. They see the path that we're on, and it's not really a good one. All said and done, it's really not. And it's not necessarily has anything to do with North Korea. Well, no, okay, yeah. North Korea, yes, but not necessarily China and their dealings with what they may or may not do, or Russia with what they may or may not do. Okay? This is a child who has his finger on a nuclear weapon. And what are you going to do about it? That's what this amounts to. You give him, a few $100,000, a few $1 million, a few $1 billion. Okay, fine. So that takes care of the problem today. But what about tomorrow, whenever he threatens us again? Are you going to give him more money? Are you just going to stand there and tell me that that's the price of doing business? That's the insurance you paid to keep the crazy people away? Oh, wow, that was good. I have to write that down. But, truth be told, is that really what you're going to tell everybody? Is that what you're going to tell me, the person who's electing you into office? I don't like that answer. Because that just means that I had the ability to solve the problem. And I just kicked it on down the road. Kicked the can on down the road and made, our children deal with this. and then they'll make their children deal with this. This is for the past 25 years. I mean, if our parents would have taken care of this problem, it wouldn't be here right now in the first place. Okay? Yeah, I just said that. There's people out there listening to this radio show that has never heard North Korea be anything but a bunch of babies. It's horrible. You know, and it's time something gets done about it. Unfortunately, this isn't a child that you can just send off to. I'm done on this. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right. Would I love to see a diplomatic solution? Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely do not want the possibility of what's coming. A nuclear bomb being dropped right on my back door. I don't want that. Or on the front door, or on the house itself. Nobody wants that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But we ain't got the money to just keep throwing over there to him. And it ain't right to just keep the problem on down the road and make our children deal with it whenever our parents should have done this 25 years ago. All right, maybe they didn't think it would be that bad, but, you know, we know that it is now. So, something needs to be done. That's just all there is to it. All right, guys, couple minutes, 3 minutes. I'm going to do 3 minutes. We're going to do some digital pop, you know, and then, you know what, since I'm doing digital pop, I'm going to bring up something. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Just listen to my last podcast that I did, the Music Maker Jam. Check out that podcast. Check out that show, that episode, you know, and tell me what you think of that. Okay? What YouTube is doing to me on that is just motherfucker, sons of motherfucking bitches. I'm covering my mouth. I don't want to be negative. All right, guys. Quick break. I'll be right back in a couple minutes. Check out the tune it. All right, and I am broadcasting live from the attic on the Ho Ho Show. You can find me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. You can email me, hoho@thehohoshow.com. Well, welcome to the Ho Ho Show, and as always, I am your host. Ho ho. That's right. All right, guys, let's see. The next topic that I'm wanting to touch base on is Trump going to work with the Democrats on healthcare reform? Let's do a quick recap on Obamacare, or the whatever the name that they gave it whenever they passed it. Okay, so Democrats passed Obamacare basically in the middle of the night. All right. I mean, really, how many Republicans had a hand in Obamacare, in the passing of it and everything else? How many? I mean, literally, I don't think whenever they first passed it, out of whichever one that they passed it out of first, I don't think there was any Republicans present, because they did. I mean, it was like 12:01 on a Wednesday or a Thursday morning, and that's when they passed it. That's when they voted on it. That's when they passed it. I mean, like, literally, that's what it was. Okay? So no Republicans had a hand in this. No Republicans had a hand in writing it. No Republicans voted for it. No Republicans put anything on there. Okay? So there's that one. There's point number one. Point number two. I already said that one. All right. And then they had the whole, if you want to know what's in it, you got to pass it. And that is just the best way to do any type of law, said nobody ever. That's right. Nobody's ever said that. Oh, that's just a great way to, govern people and to do laws. We'll just keep it a secret what's in there and nobody's going to know. Morons. And then, they waited until the very last moment. I mean, they waited. Trump waited. Even though it was according to law and it was his job to enforce the law, he waited years. Like, a good year and a half until after midterms before the bulk of what Obamacare was supposed to do was put into practice. And then, let me go back to my notes here. And then they screwed up with this stinking thing. Then stop, rewind, play. They screwed up with this stinking thing so bad. And they screwed it up horribly. Nothing worked right. Nothing worked right. They didn't cross all their T's. They didn't dot all their I's. And what the Supreme Court should have done is said, okay, guys, you guys have screwed this up. This thing is foobarred. Okay, this thing is completely and utterly foobarred. Instead of making this thing be the complete wreck that it is, go back to the drawing board, try it again. That's what the Supreme Court should have done, because it was so screwed up. Okay? They had so many things that they had to rewrite and tweak this and tweak that to get it to, it's like, oh, well, it's a tax. It's not a tax. It's a penalty, but it's really a tax, but it's not a tax. And they rewrote it. They changed this and changed that so many different times that by the time it got done, nothing was the way it was supposed to be, and it was so screwed up because not all their T's were crossed and not all their I's were dotted. It was a train wreck. A complete and utter train wreck. And that's why the Supreme Court very much should have sent it back, just sent it back to him and said, no, this is just complete. This is incomprehensible what you guys are even talking about. You don't know because you talk around it 2 or 3 different times and then you jump over it, but you never address it with certain different things. And this is, of course, bypassing the whole, the completely valid and why the hell hasn't the Supreme Court brought this one up, an unconstitutional law in the first place? I mean, really? It's the Commerce Clause. That's not what it was talking about, dude. The Commerce Clause was about, it wasn't even about interstate travel. It was about free market capitalism between states. That's what the Commerce Clause was. And you're going to tell me that, in healthcare, that the Commerce Clause actually means something to you? Really? Then why can't you buy insurance across state lines? It would increase. What's that? What's that spiffy diffy word that it would increase? Competitiveness. Competitive pricing. It would open up the door for more insurers to affect more areas, and it would increase competition, and it would actually make these people care about the money that they're getting. I mean, there are states out there that, I kid you not, there's only one available healthcare provider. Obamacare has pushed all others out. I don't remember who that is. I mean, I really don't. I mean, it's ridiculous. It might be like, crap. Is it Alaska? I don't think it's Alaska. And I don't think it's Maine. It might be like Minnesota or something, maybe. But, I mean, truth be told, and I kid you not, there's through the entire state, you have one choice. And due to Obamacare, you have 4 options. And you're going to call that free market capitalism? You're going to tell me that that's the best way for me to go? And of course, that one company out there, they absolutely love Obamacare. Because everybody in the entire state has to go through them for their insurance. You have no choice. That's called a monopoly. I thought there was laws against that. It's a complete and utter violation of the Constitution. How just strangle just puppies and pet them. Hi, puppy. Aww. Anyway, it's ridiculous. Are you? And then now, and here's what the problem is. Here's what the problem is now. Now, because they have screwed it up so bad. Now it's Republicans' fault that it's broke because we haven't fixed it. Really? It's a Humpty. My Humpty rolling, tailpipe dragging, heat don't work, and my girl keeps nagging. Sir Mix-a-Lot, guys, look it up. An awesome song. When you've got a Humpty that is that far gone, you don't take it to AutoZone and fix it. You take it to the junkyard, and you go out and you buy yourself a new freaking vehicle. That's what we need to do. But we don't need to go buy a new freaking vehicle because the one that we had was an amazing car. It was Eleanor. It was a 1967 Mustang GT 500. And it's in perfect shape. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. They had a couple little tweaks that they needed to do to it. Allow for, over the border jumping, crossing. That's funny. But allow for a certain few little things, tweak that one, kind of fix some of the messed up parts on that one. But they threw away the classic. Name your classic. I know there's not everybody out there that are Ford fans, and I was just using that, more or less as a awesome for, Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor, the amazing car. Come on, guys. Just classic movies, guys. Come on. What is wrong with you? Anywho, they threw away a perfectly good free market thing that just needed a couple tweaks. And they gave us Obamacare. A Humpty. A lemon. A worse than a lemon. I mean, they I'm about to use a saying that a good friend of mine uses all the time. And I'm sure that you've heard it. You've heard him say it on his radio show, the Machine Radio Show. Brandon Gatton. You can put sprinkles on a turd, but it still don't make it a cupcake. That's what they tried to do. They put sprinkles on a turd, they handed it to us, and told us it's a cupcake. We bite into it. Man, this is shitty. It's that simple. That's what it amounted to, guys. We got lied to. We got lied to. We got taken advantage of. They shoved it down our throat because they could. And now you're going to tell us that we need to, cross the party politics, and we've got to do, bipartisanship and, work on this together with our guys and buddies across the aisle. They're only your guys and buddies across the aisle because you guys are really Democrats that just fly the little R flag. That's what you guys do. That's why, you know what? I'm going to get into that after a quick break. I'm taking a quick break. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. All right, guys. Couple minutes. I'll be back, and I'm getting in a little something else. Welcome back. I am broadcasting live from the attic on the Ho Ho Show, and as always, I am your host. Oh yeah, I already read that. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. So, what I was talking about earlier, before I was so rudely interrupted by my music. And this goes out to the ones we love. Yeah, anyway. I just get random songs in my head all the time. That's why I got to write stuff down whenever I'm doing this show, because otherwise it would be so much worse than what it is as far as my just complete acts of random stuff and talking and stuff. And if you didn't know, there's all kinds of stuff in there too. So this is talking about more or less Congress, okay? Now, I know it's hard to believe. We've had so much going on. So much has happened. And I know that y'all don't think about this, but this is October. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's damn near been a year already since Trump got into office. Did you know that there are still cabinet seats that are not filled because Senate won't confirm them? So Trump still does not even have his White House yet. This is still not fully his administration. I want you guys to ponder that for a little while. Ponder the implications of that for a little while, okay? We, as Republicans, as conservatives, we control 33 states of the Union. Democrats lost over 1,000 freaking seats throughout the state legislature. That's a lot of seats, people. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell it to you frank. I had Frank's permission to tell you this. So I'm going to be frank with you. He told me it's okay, so I'm going to be it. I'm going to be him. Everybody needs a friend by the name of Frank, just so you know. This way you can be frank and it's okay. You know. Just throwing that out there to you. If you guys don't get something done... Wait. Let me rewind that a little bit. You owe your seat to that man in the White House. Because if it wasn't for him, I highly doubt, and I actually talked about this with somebody not that long ago, that as much as I loved, no, that's a strong word, as much as I supported Ted Cruz, because he was, I mean, let's face it, I mean, yes, he's hated by every one of his peers because, you know, he stands for something. And let's be frank. I mean, that's what it amounts to. Okay. Ted Cruz failed because he tried to appease too many people. Okay. In his speeches, you know, that's what he tried to do. He tried to appease too many people. And somebody was like, hell, you know, he was showing his true colors. And I'm like, you know, I can't really say that. You know, I can't really say that. He was covering his ass, and he was trying to appease too many people. He was playing the political game, and it got the better of him. You know, I mean, truth be told, that's what I think what happened. That's what I think what happened. That's my opinion on it. And I could be completely and totally wrong. You know, I very much could be. You know, I was wrong about Trump, and thank God I was. I mean, I thought he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. I thought he was going to be just as bad as Hillary Clinton because of his relationship with the Clintons. You know, because there was some camaraderie there. There was a friendship there, you know, or at least an acquaintance there, you know, and I totally thought wolf in sheep's clothing. And man, I tell you what, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I voted for Ted in the primary. I did not vote for Obama in the election. I didn't do it, you know. I mean, granted, either way you look at it, it would have been a much better, you know, president than Hillary Clinton, obviously. But at the same time, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, results may vary. But, you know, it was just one of the things. It was too good of a possibility for, you know, that to, you know, I didn't want to take that chance. You know, I really didn't. So all these people who got elected, these thousands of state legislatures, the 33 seats or the 33 states that Republicans took control of. I mean, if you look at the map, I mean, holy crap. It's all for the GOP. The map is huge of how many people got up off the couches, left their houses, went down to the voting ballot, and voted on a Republican ballot. You guys owe him your seat. And he owes the people who got up off our asses and went and voted for him. You owe us to do what you promised you was going to do whenever you were standing on the campaign trail in front of us going, we'll repeal Obamacare. We'll build that wall. We'll do it. Then do it already. It's been a year. How far are you? You don't need, okay, look. I'm going to spell it out to you, all right? I'm going to spell it out here real easy. You have a majority in the House, you have a majority in the Senate, and you have the White House. Put the freaking bill on the table already. Are you kidding me? If you guys were serious about doing this, you would have had this thing on his table on day one. Obama gets into the office, you know, I do solemnly swear to do all that stuff that he said he would do. He gets into the Oval Office and bam, a repeal for Obamacare. That's what it should have been. If y'all were serious about doing this, you had 8 freaking years. Come on. Okay, so literally you had about, 5 or 6 maybe, but still. I digress. It's ridiculous, guys. It's retarded. For them to be waiting around like this, like they are, I'm going to tell you something, guys. All right? Democrats are about ready to get a lot more seats back in Congress. I don't know what states are up. I have no clue. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue. Next year, I don't know how many seats are up for election. I mean, a third of them, obviously, But I don't know which states. And I'm going to be frank with you, and I'm going to be honest. If you guys don't get it done, because you have no excuses, all right? Because when you get the House of Representatives and you say, oh, well, we need the Senate too. Okay, so we got you the Senate. Oh, well, we need the White House too. So we let you keep the Senate. Keep the House of Representatives. And we won for you the White House. What's your excuse? What the fuck can you possibly tell me to explain your lack of action in getting the job done and following through with the promise that you told me? If you want to keep your seat, you damn well better get off your ass and do something. Pass something. Put them on a goddamn table. I'm clenching my jaws. This is it. I'm passionate about this, guys. I mean, I really am. And I'm not. Y'all need to get passionate about this too. I mean, shut off your stinking TVs and stop watching Dancing with the Motherfucking Stars. That's a distraction. It keeps you distracted from the shit that really matters. Okay? A dear friend of mine, God rest her soul, she's passed away now, but she used to say that all these people are interested in is shoes! And she'd yell it real loud. Because that's all people are interested in. They put their heads in the sand and they don't pay attention to what's going on. It's all about Lost. It's all about Dancing with the Stars. And it's all about America's Got Talent. And it's about this. It's about the other. It's about the shoe sale. It's about what's going on in this and what's going on that. What is Kardashian wearing today? And that's all these people seem to want to fill their entire lives with. And I mean, I understand it, In a matter of speaking, I understand it. Because the news, I mean, it's just the same old shit, day in, day out. Nothing seems to ever change. Well, you know what? If y'all would start paying attention, maybe things would get done. I mean, really, come on. I mean, this is the information age. You don't even have to pay that much attention. All you got to do is, just get a little news alert on your phone. Hey, this is what bill's coming up. Oh, okay. Or actually, you know what? You don't even have to do that. All right, I'll make it easier for you. I'm not going to flat do it for you. I'm not going to give you the exact name of the app that it is, but I'm going to spell it out for you really clear. You go to the ballot box, okay? Or actually, you start on the campaign trail, okay? And there's a conservative review that's out there, okay? And what that does is it takes the views of conservatives and it grades each and every Republican on that grading scale. And it gives them, because they pay attention. They pay attention to the bills that have been brought before Congress. It pays attention to how each and every person voted in Congress. See, this is a matter of public record, okay? And then what it does is it gives them a grading scale. And of course, if they have an A, then obviously that person needs to stay. They're a Republican. They are a conservative. They vote for and they represent the people on conservative value issues. And then they also have on the other side of this area, okay, and these people are the rhinos. These people are the Democrats that fly the R flag in front of their name. Whenever all they are is a big D. They are the D. That's what they are. They have hijacked the party. And we let them get away with, flying the Republican banner whenever they are truly Democrats. We allow them to do this instead of paying attention and getting them out of the freaking office so we can have a true Republican in there. We allow this to happen. So you go there and you pull up this app. Actually, it's not even an app. You got to, pull up a website. Conservativereview.com, maybe something to that effect. It's an amazing app. And then you go, oh, this guy, he's got an F. He's not a conservative. I wonder if there's an option. Oh, hey, here's this guy. Well, that's cool. Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's got a B. I mean, he ain't perfect, but he's a hell of a lot better than an F. Because that F guy ain't even trying. He's a Democrat. Don't vote for him. Oh, your check mark goes somewhere else. See, you don't even have to pay attention. It's the information age. The information is there for you to have. All you got to do is not be lazy and look the shit up. You guys want to know what's wrong with Washington? It's you. Oh, I bet you didn't think that's where I was going with that, did you? Oh, well, it's absolutely true. Because it's the people who are the guardians of all this shit that we've allowed it to happen. Because we don't want to pay attention. And we have allowed our freedoms to be hijacked and slowly ripped away from us for the last, 70, 80 years? That it's just been getting whittled away and whittled away. A little bit here, a little bit there. Nothing, they don't want to take too big of a chunk out at any one time, They don't want to rip too much of your freedoms away. And so they don't tell you that it's a ban on a gun. It's a ban on an accessory. Well, it's not a full-out ban on guns. You just can't have this type of gun. You can't have a sawed-off shotgun. Oh, no. You can have your sporting rifle, but you can't have an assault rifle. Oh, well, I know that what we said about that assault rifle, and we meant it, but now we're just going to change what we define assault rifle to be, so that actually does include your sporting rifles. I hate to tell you this, but now you can't have that either. Because it looks scary. Well, I know that it's not, but it looks scary. So you can't have it either because I want to feel better about you owning a gun. Because there's criminals out there. Well, I know I have an armed security force that protects me, but I'm important. I'm part of government. I'm a famous person that works in Hollywood. I'm important. Who are you? You don't need a gun. That's laughable. That's how these people think. I mean, truly, that's how these people think. All right, guys, I want to take another quick break. When I come back, more stuff. Definitely more stuff. I've kind of hinted on it already, but more stuff. A little bit of 70s funk action. Oh, yeah. All right, now I am broadcasting live from the attic on the Ho Ho Show. My call-in number, and not like it really matters now, but 217-917-4405. And again, that's in the chats as well. But yeah, so good times. So I've been kind of looking around at this whole, the mass shooting that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. Man, I can speak. Really, I can. I mean, I learned a long time ago. And, I mean, I still struggle with it. Kind of like that whole swallowing thing. You know, it's like not that kind of swallowing, guys. Come on. No, but it's like, you know, breathe, swallow, but not at the same time. And you would think that somebody who's 39 years old would, you know, just know this by habit. You know, it's kind of like biting my cheek. You know, it's like, really? My cheek has been there since before my teeth have been. Why are you biting my cheek? Or why is my cheek getting in the way? I mean, it's either way you look at it, you know. Cheek's probably like, I was here first. And, you know, it's a big fight in my mouth. And I don't know who Wow. Okay, so anyway, pay no attention to that last minute or two that we had right there. It's just, whew, my brain. This is your brain. This is your brain on ho-ho. Any questions? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, so looking around on this, you know, with the mass shooting, the guy, the name that, you know, he has, you know, Paddock, maybe. That could be it. And then his girlfriend, Mary Lou. And, yeah, so I don't, you know, the last name of one, the first name of the other. I know it's, you know, they don't share last names because they're not actually married. So, but anyway, you know, just to give you guys a little bit of information, we know nothing about him. We really don't. I mean, he was you know, we know that he was a 64-year-old man. We know that he worked for I think the IRS at some point in time, or maybe like 6 years or whatever. He worked for the post office. They suspect that he got a lot of his money through gambling because, you know, it was like $20,000-$30,000, you know, and I don't remember if they said what type of a time frame this was in, but, you know, we really don't know anything about him. He had 2 or 3 homes. I think there was somewhere between 32 and 42 weapons in the room with him. And of course, you know, people are like, you know, hey, why did all of this happen? And, you know, somebody really screwed up and dropped the ball. But it's like, guys, okay, this is Las Vegas. You know, the whole what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's not outside the ordinary. It is not outside the realm of, or the purview of what normally happens on a standard weekend, especially when you have something going on like what was going on. Okay? People put that do not disturb sign out on their door and they leave it there the entire weekend they're there. You know? I mean, I know a lot of people that actually do that. I mean, hell, I do it. I don't care how long I'm in someplace. Unless I'm there in the room, if I'm leaving, I'm putting that sign up on the door. You know, I don't want a maid to go in there. I mean, I'm fine unless I need a restock on something, but then you can just go down to the help desk and be like, hey, you know, I'll take this stuff. I'll go ahead. I'll do that. You know, that's cool. You know, I mean, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. You know, I mean, some people just don't like the temptation of their stuff getting rooted through. I mean, not that that would happen, but it's, you know, there people like that they don't want the maids in there if they're not there. So they put that sign on their door, you know, so it's not outside the norm. Okay. And the whole, you know, I guess there was 1 or 2 or 3, you know, at least one room service bill that, you know, it was how many will be dining. Oh, there's 2. Okay. You know, so they have a question as to whether or not he had an accomplice. And it's like, look, guys, maybe he was ordering 2 meals. You know, and this is funny. This is actually hilarious because there was a guy that was talking bad about it and was like, oh, well, you know, this, you know, why would somebody do that? You know, that he's ordering 2 meals. That means that there's 2 people in the room. Oh, so that's what that means. So have you ever done that? Oh, yeah, I've ordered 2 meals, but, you know, this is what they need to check out and this is what they need to know. And that's why they need to invade this guy's privacy and find out. You know, everybody needs to suffer because of this one crazy guy. You know, it's like, okay, so you just admitted that, you know, you have done room service for 2 with it just being yourself because you wanted 2 meals. Okay, all right. But, this guy, that because he did something wrong, obviously somebody needs to pay, and you're wanting to put the blame on the hotel. Okay. All right, I got you. And it's a sad thing. I mean, they're just looking for somebody to blame. And truth be told, the hotel, they did a stand-up job. The police have basically come out and said that they did, there was nothing wrong with how they conducted themselves, with how they handled the situation, because nothing the guy did was outside the norm. It really wasn't. I know you guys want to paint this broad brush that, he was an absolute crazy guy and there had to have been signs, and it's like, no, not necessarily. He evidently kept his crazy enough under control that people just didn't know. Sometimes that happens. Look at Jeffrey Dahmer. Look at these crazy people. How long did it take for them to get caught? And I don't get it. But we don't know anything about the guy. We really don't. He wasn't into social media. Oh, that's a red flag. The guy was 64 years old, man. I know people that are, that are, 4 or 3 years their junior that have absolutely not a one social media account. Not a one. I know people that have social media accounts that are never on social media. There's no history there to be had. All it is an association with somebody, and that's a maybe. But the guy wasn't on Facebook. So there's no social media to scour through and find out what was on the guy's mind for a while. So they did nothing wrong. We don't know anything, and I've had people yelling, it's like, what? Well, what about the whole, coming in there with so many guns and whatnot? How in the world would you carry all that stuff up with you? It's like, well, they have these awesome and wonderful inventions that they made like back in the 1920s called baggage carts, and they hold a lot, so, there you go. And I mean, who knows? Maybe he used a service elevator, from a garage or something. I mean, we don't know how he actually did it. We know that he didn't enter with all the weaponry through the casino, because a casino has metal detectors. So we know that he entered the hotel through the hotel because there's no metal detector. See, he planned it out. He thought it through. This guy wasn't, yeah, he was off his rocker. Yeah, he was crazy, but he planned this out. And he executed it very well. I'm not giving the man, credit for what he did. Absolutely not. Don't misunderstand the words that's coming out of my mouth. The man planned and executed it. And it's just that, he was a crazy guy. I truly do not think that there is anybody else involved, and I may come to be wrong, and I'm cool with that. But we haven't found anything as of yet. It is still under investigation. But at this time, one guy, and thank God he was a horrible shot. Thank God he was a horrible shot. That bump stock didn't do anything for him. Because let's face it, guys, he shot in high rapid fire a sporting rifle from an elevated position from the 32nd floor into a crowd of 20,000, 22,000 people. And yes, it is tragic that 58 people died. Yes, it is very tragic these 58 people died. Yes, it is very tragic that there was 527 or 529 or 530 people, injured. Whether it be to ricochet, gunfire, or, a stampeding crowd of people that is trying to get the heck out of the way. It is a miracle that so few lost their lives and so few were injured. It's a miracle. The guy was a horrible shot. The accessories that he was using were crap. That's why real gun owners don't use them. Yeah. Hey, and since I'm on that topic, with the whole gun owner and the whole bump stock thing, a lot of people are out there that are right now that are ticked off about the whole bump stock thing. It's the NRA just sold us out. It's like, look, guys, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some ho-ho in it. Wait, that was bad too. Yeah, don't worry about that. Anyway, rewind that. We'll edit that out. Anyway, I hate stupid movies when they pop into my head like that. What was that? Bring It On, I think. Yeah, Bring It On. Good movie. I mean, I liked it. Just whatever. Don't take my main card away from me. I like The Matrix. Matrix was good. Trinity. Oh. Yeah. Anywho. But the NRA was like, hey, it's not a gun. It's an accessory. So they're not hindering anything. And I would much rather that the NRA sit down with ATF and work something out outside Congress. Because if Congress gets their grubby little hands on it, it'll be bad for the American people. Absolutely. Well, guys, that's all I got for you today. I was positive there was a couple other things I was wanting to get to, but, me having the brain that I have, I don't remember. But alright, guys, I thank you very much. Tomorrow will be Religion Ho-Ho's Way, and I'm actually going to be talking about Paul. Or will I talk about Saul? I know I'll throw Stephen in there. A little road on the way to Damascus. It's a good part of it. Good times. But I'll definitely be working on this whole camera thing. I'll get this thing figured out, man. I'm pretty sure I almost have it. It's just a matter of just doing some more testing and playing around with it. I don't mind playing around with it. All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Y'all have a wonderful, amazing, and awesome day. Until next time, peace.